Hello. I keep thinking one day I'll be back in the light where I used to make my videos, but for now this is what I have. So, this has to do with people that they act like they're for your higher good, like they're there to help you and you're there to work together. And in the end, you'll find if things don't go their way, their mask falls off. And all of a sudden, that person you thought was your friend, you're like, oh, I see the truth now. I'm sharing this because it's what I'm going through right now. I moved because I had a friend, she was a single mom, and I'm a single mom. And she was like, we can help each other out. You'll save money, I'll save money. And when push comes to shove, I don't want to go out to the bar. My daughter doesn't play video games with her son like she hoped my daughter would keep her son company because she doesn't. Mom doesn't pay attention to her son. But as she saw how I live my life, like my kids come first. Now all of a sudden there's this air of projection. Last night was that eye opener of, man, I knew you were toxic, but I didn't know the level of toxic. And I'm talking like acid can destroy kind of toxic. I had a friend that came into town. Well, I went to my nephew's wedding last night. We had a blast. At the same time, my friend was coming into town, drove 3 hours to get here. And we've been friends longer than I've known the person I'm living with. To me, it's my friend, right? Why get a hotel? There's room for you to stay here. You didn't clear that up with me. As adults, I didn't know. I mean, I informed you. My friend's coming to town. He'll be here. We're going to go hang out with my family tomorrow. My kids know this person. He actually tried to teach my son how to drive when he was 15. And we've stayed in touch. And he had issues a couple years ago, and I had to go do pretty much a wellness watch. He was dealing with an anniversary of something that was very devastating in his life and was feeling like he couldn't make it through the night. So we hung out and I made sure he was okay. He's always been a friend. So either way, he comes to town and talk about the toxicity that came with that. We had plans to have fun, go swimming, go fishing, go hang out with my grandparents and my parents and family and stuff. And she basically sought to destroy that. Called me whatever she could call me, berated me, told me I was a terrible mother, that I had no respect, that I don't take ownership for my behavior. And I was like, don't respond. Down to the point where she told me, get the fuck out. Like, you have to leave. I ended up blocking her on Messenger because we live in the same house. Say what you gotta say to my face. And this is kind of how it is if you're dealing with people like this, that they can be real bold and strong behind a keyboard. Block their ass. Make them say it to your face. Because I'll tell you, since I've blocked her, her daughter started messaging my daughter. Which, that's a new level of what the hell is wrong with you? How are you going to bring kids into the situation? We're adults. One of us is. But, if you're going through this, just know there's a lot of people that are so insecure that they're going to try to project their behavior onto you. And, man, she almost succeeded. She almost had me in my head. My daughter and I had a good conversation that we honestly needed. And I look at this in the sense it's all being divinely orchestrated, more than likely to heal a rift between my daughter and I about how we communicate. Also, to allow not just myself, but other people to recognize who this person I'm dealing with is. And it's also that moment of transitioning, and it's like something's got to give, something's going to give. There's no foundation, it's a faulty foundation. I haven't even been here a month, and I'm already being told, you're not going to talk to me however you want. You can move the fuck out. Okay, but you think you're going to talk to me however you want. I don't care if I'm homeless. You're not going to sit and disrespect me when I have worked so hard to overcome that sort of toxic behavior, because that was my ex. You can't communicate. You can only spread lies and rumors. You can play the victim. You can try to berate and belittle and then put the blame on other people. These are the kinds of people you want to get away from, because if you're not in a strong mindset, if you're not somebody who has already dealt with this, these are the kinds of people that will put you to saying life is not worth it and you give up. You're worth more than that. And if you're dealing with somebody like that, please understand that they are projecting the way that they view themselves onto you because they can't accept that they feel that way about themselves. They often have what we call the God complex that says in their mind they're greater than what they are. They have more to offer than what they bring to the table. And if in their mind they feel that way about themselves, then they inadvertently believe that others should give to them in this sense that you're the jester and they're the king or queen. And when it comes to situations like that, if you're not secure about yourself, like I said, you will find yourself juggling in your own mind, how can I do better? I'm at a point I refuse to apologize for somebody who, for one, chose not to communicate like an adult, and for two, chose to blow up on me and say all kinds of things out of a moment of egotistical anger. My mom said sometimes we have to be the bigger person and apologize. I apologized to her daughter because her daughter said, why didn't you acknowledge my child when she was waving and saying, hi, hi, little baby? And I told her, I said, honestly, we were trying to get out of the house before somebody was attacked. Verbally, however it was. There wasn't going to be a physical altercation because the person that I'm dealing with likes to be manipulative in a way that puts them in the seat of innocence. And I will apologize when it's warranted. But I learned from my ex, when I did apologize, it simply empowered him to continue on with negative narcissistic behavior that always made me cower down, walk on eggshells. I won't go back to that way of living. Like I said, I will choose to be homeless before I allow another mentally ill individual who is broken spiritually and hates themselves. I will not apologize. I will not come to that person and say, I'm sorry for overstepping your boundaries you did not place. I'm sorry for you constantly moving the field post, knowing that I won't be able to meet all of your expectations that you didn't put on the table. When You have to roommate with people. You have to learn to overlook certain situations. And it's funny because she told me, I don't do drama, I don't do animosity. But she's the one that initiates it. And that's the hard part about dealing with someone who's not mentally well. They will continually set up situations to make other people look dysfunctional because it's what they are. But then they want to have the victim mentality over what they set as a trap. It really is a huge conundrum, because when you deal with these kinds of people, you can't say anything to them, because what are they going to do? Ba-boom. All you do is give them the go-ahead to attack you more and more and more. And it's important to remember that what they're attacking is not you. They're attacking themselves through projection, but they're not handling their trauma. So what they're doing is they're displacing their trauma onto a healthier individual to now say, you are responsible for my behavior. You are now responsible for how I handled everything or didn't. You are now responsible for everything that comes after. And a lot of times when you walk away from these people and their worlds fall apart, they will turn around and tell everybody how you did them wrong. I know this because I've dealt with a lot of mentally dysfunctional, emotionally immature individuals that they want so badly to not be the person that they truly are. And they will work a room trying to get everybody to look at you and go, you're the problem. That person's the problem. It's not me. I don't know why they're acting the way they're acting. And the thing is, though, we now have social media. And I even said she only talks to me through Messenger. Like, we don't have face-to-face interaction. It's always messaging me from her room. And we have each other's phone number, but it's, for whatever reason, she chooses to talk through Messenger. And my daughter said so she can delete messages and change everything and make it look different. These are what I call dishwasher conversations or washing machine conversations. It just goes round and around and nothing makes sense. And in the end, the conversation started one way and it ended differently, but nothing was accomplished other than extreme emotion. And someone has egg on their face and not the person that started the washing machine. So you have to be really careful of the individuals that are coming at you, especially if it's in a crowd of people or you're affiliated with the same friend groups, because these people, their sole intention is to never be seen for the dark entities that they are. They don't want to be seen as the villain, when in reality, they're not the victim. So this is just a heads up to hopefully give you an insight into what people are willing to do when they're really dark, low-vibing, and toxic, but they don't want the world to see that. And the best thing you can do is stay calm, cool, and collected, and just let their mask keep flipping, slipping, and the world to see them for what they are. Because in the end, if you interact with them, if you try to retaliate, if you try to stand up for yourself, you're going to be viewed as the bad person. You're going to be seen as the one that's mentally unstable, and that just allows these individuals to keep going around and messing with more people's minds. And it's really sad when there's kids involved, because they begin to alter the way that their children view the world. So I'm going to leave it on that note. Hopefully that's helpful for somebody, because I wish somebody would have told me at some point. Sending you peace, love, and light. Good night.